Hey everyone, welcome to the Sitecore Symposium 2025 here in Orlando. Back to the Dolphin, not the Swan, so you don't have to walk back and forth. We are actually on the bridgeway between Swan and Dolphin. If you were here the last time in the rain walking around, a lot of announcements today. One of the biggest one is Sitecore AI. So basically, building it from the ground up, giving us digital experiences which are all AI rooted, and there's three others.
Yeah, there are three others. Sitecore AI was a interesting one. I think it's obviously expected in this day and age. Yeah. Everybody is going full in AI, but Sitecore has set AI as the foundation at the root of everything that it does, and it's embedded and intertwined into every single product.
Yeah.
They mentioned that there was some talk earlier that they had during some of the sessions that they had actually consolidated all of their platforms that they had acquired, all within Sitecore Azure now. So we're not dealing with like AWS and the different platforms that they had, which of course then lays the foundation for the AI, because they're all within the same Microsoft platform, and all of these products are now
talking the collaboration with Microsoft on AI and stuff. It all brings it together. The next one they talked about is the Agentic Studio. So workplace again for marketers where they can use AI to create workflows, to automate things. They have agents working for them doing things which are checking analytics, if the page, the number of people coming to the page dropped, if they need to redo things, email campaigns. And we actually went to the Sitecore booth after, and we got a demo of the Agentic Studio, which was really cool. There were quite a few workflows.
Yeah, it's interesting because again, like it's just the studio now, right? It's not a separate app for CMS. It's not a separate app for content. It's not a separate app for DAM. It's just the studio, and everything is embedded within that. It's a single tool for the marketers to use, and it's an extremely seamless way of working now, right? I mean, coming from the old way of working, I was quite confused. Like, hey, where's the launch pad? Where's the icon for this? How do I get to that? And just like, nope, it's all very seamless.
And it's all single dashboard, and you can do every product in there. So you can switch between channels, as they're now calling it, which was surprising to us because like, where's the content? Oh no, it's a channel now. So you go to the channel and you see the page builder and the dashboard for the XM Cloud site itself. But there's also Content Hub there. There's also DAM there. So that was pretty interesting, which was pretty cool. And then the next part was the simplicity part, right? They talked about how they're going to simplify how the licensing is going to work. So it's basically one product. There's not 15 products. There's no like separate thing for search, separate thing for personalized. It's just one thing for everything, and everyone gets access to it as of Monday, is what they said.
Yeah. So this was, I think this is a good move. We know from working on a lot of enterprise customers that procurement is a pain. Sitecore knows this, and they've listened to this. So now instead of having a separate contract for XM Cloud, a separate contract for search, and then later on you come and you're like, hey, by the way, we also now need full personalization, not the basic embedded personalization. You'd have to then go through the whole legal procurement and the issues around that. Whereas as a marketer, you want to be using this right now, right? I have a need for this right now. I don't want to wait for several months to get this through all the procurements and budgeting and everything else that needs to happen. And now it's just one single platform, one single, everything is included in the platform, enabled by default is what they say. And you get a flavor of all of those. I think people are used to it with
personalized,
right? Or in XM Cloud, you get the basic personalization, and if you want the full-on module, once you start using it, you can then turn it on, essentially, right? It's a module that you turn on as opposed to a product that you buy.
So everything is available to everyone, supposedly. Did they say end of the month, or did they say Monday?
I thought they said from Monday.
Monday is what they said. So that was kind of interesting. Then they talked about the Sitecore AI Pathway, which was actually very interesting to us, because they said they originally started with just for XMXP customers to move to XM Cloud, but then they quickly realized that they could use the same methodology for other CMSs, which was pretty cool. So having a way for this Pathway AI to move your content, and they showed a 5-step process. The Sitecore guy at the booth, where you kind of map which CMS it is, and then you're able to map between the content types. So
yeah, and the AI will help really, with that mapping process. You still get the human oversight and the review even on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked really interesting. I really want to get my hands on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had an XM Cloud migration toolkit before.
Yeah.
But that was like really just taking existing templates as is from an XMXP instance and then just migrating that one for one, if you like, into XM Cloud, which isn't always the best way of doing things.
Yeah.
You want to take these opportunities for some changes, enhancements and transformation, and following some additional best practices. So yeah, this will be good, especially from other CMSs as well, right?
Perfect. And then also some of our friends, so Sitecore started working with a few of the customers like Regal Rexnord, who we worked with before, about the agentic.
Info was there as well.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool that they have been piloting this with some of the customers ahead of the symposium. So there's kind of like good feedback loop over there. They've been working with Mo and team, so it's interesting.
Well, we were speaking with some of the guys from Regal, and they were talking about how the team from Sitecore, Mo Sharif and his team, and their AI Innovations Lab, Sitecore's AI Innovations Lab, were actually going in, working with the customers, and building this thing out with them, right? So, they learn, we learn, everybody learns, and you end up with a better product. So that's a really great approach, I think, from Sitecore to really get in early, get some good feedback, and really build this product out for something that's going to be the foundation for a long time to come now.
It should definitely help moving to XM Cloud and using Sitecore AI. So hoping for getting our hands on all of this Monday, and then we'll let you guys know how everything goes.
Yeah, and then we did have some other updates. I went to a session with Mo, and he actually did dive into more details around the AI agents and things like that.
Okay.
The great news is obviously Sitecore has some AI agents pre-built. You can use those, and you can use those in your everyday workflow.
Oh yeah, did he show the design studio and everything?
He didn't. No, not in the design studio. No,
okay.
That was
the other one.
We
Yeah,
can talk about that.
Yeah,
that's interesting. But he did go through the fact that you can actually build your own agents, right?
Nice.
So if you want to build your own custom agents, you host them, you do whatever you want with them.
Yeah.
And because they're your own custom agents, you can use whatever models you want. You can dive into whatever data you want, and you can enrich the entire data stream throughout the different pieces. He did talk about the different agents. Let me just pull up.
In the meantime, while Cameras is looking at his notes, the design studio was also something new. So we were talking to someone about the component designer in XM Cloud, and then they were, did you see the design studio yet? And then we went into the design studio. Again, they have a bunch of components. You can click on a component and basically give a prompt saying, I want the image on the right, or I want two images, left and right and top and bottom, and then it'll actually generate the code for you. And what was interesting, which we didn't know of, is it can commit that code back to your repo, which I think is, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Than the component library before.
I was very confused. I'm like, how's this working? Like, how am I gonna? How do I now? Marcus is just gonna go in and make these changes, and nobody's gonna know. It's not gonna quite work right. And then how's it gonna work when somebody else needs to make a change? And then how do I push it from staging to production? And then the ball dropped where it's like, no, actually, it just creates this TSX file in the background. And you just check it back in and go through your normal deployment process from the deploy dashboard, right? Which is like, okay, this makes sense to me, and this is great because this is what I really like. Versus the old component library designer where you're kind of dragging and dropping little pieces.
And it's just sitting in XM Cloud. It's not going anywhere else. So
exactly.
That was actually a nicer piece of news to listen to.
Especially that combined with the Pathways AI.
Both seemed like a really good way forward. So I can't really wait to get our hands on this and see where it goes. So
so we did have some, so what Mo had said, and I'll just write down. So some of the product enhancements capabilities. So there's three areas with the AI capabilities. There's the AI enhanced product capabilities, the contextual assistant. So that will bring out like your little panel that you can actually start interacting with. So, and then AI knows exactly where you are, right? So I'm in this item, I'm in this section, I'm doing, so I'm working with this type of item, this type of data, right? So important, right? Context is everything in AI and not just the data. So That's very important. And then the Agentic Studio, which you had mentioned, right?
Yeah.
The product capabilities and enhanced product capabilities. So I'm just going to read this off the list because it's quite a lot. AI copy generation and refinement, which they've had some flavor of.
Yeah.
Multilingual translation and localization.
Okay.
Right? And I got a demo of this in the Platform DXP product. I'll talk about that in a second. SEO and metadata enhancement, which is a big one.
We saw that one,
right?
the GEO, SEO,
Content transformation and reuse, again, when we're talking about channels and things like that, right? And pushing out to social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, for example. Intelligent search and asset discoverability. So when you're looking for...
they did talk about that. That media library is going to go away.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a unified media, smart search, AI-based discovery.
Right?
So that was
which makes sense, right? Like, I don't want to, if I upload something in the media, you should just use AI to tag those. Let me find it later much more easily. Content quality and compliance. That's a big one for, especially with, you can use the brand kits to make sure that everything's on brand, on tone, on theme. And then compliance, if you're within certain industries, you can start to feed that compliance requirements in there. Component creation with AI, which you just talked with.
That's interesting.
And then, of course, everything is being built with AI as well. And then Platform DXP, I went to a session on a separate session for that one. And we all know that Platform DXP has been getting some AI capabilities,
like the stream and stuff.
So the stream enhancements, for example, right? So they're continuing to iterate on that. They had again talked about the fact that this will be it's a separate module. And the great thing about that is then a separate release cadence from the main product. So you're not waiting for a year for every single release. You're getting new features quite quickly, actually. They've had several iterations of the Platform DXP module already. So available right now, obviously the stream and a basic instance is free. You just need to reach out to them for licensing keys. And if you want to use the brand kits, you have to pay for that. But you can get some of the generational capabilities out of it for free. So brand assistant, brand kits, content generation, content variants. Content extraction is something that is coming out new.
That's interesting.
So that's a new capability, and media metadata extraction. So that again makes sense for
if they're unifying the
and
media
content
library.
tagging and things like that, right? And right now you can translate an item, right? Which is a little bit limited at this moment in time, but they are working on entire page translation.
Nice. So every component, its data source.
Exactly. They had a little demo of that, and that should be coming out fairly soon within the next months. There's user access restrictions so you can then restrict a role that has there's specific roles, so you can restrict it so that only certain users or certain roles have access to specific features, right? Like maybe the AI translation or the AI content generation or things like that, right? And then they're talking about having content auditing, so you can audit your entire content base that you have right now to make sure it meets a certain brand theme or certain compliance requirement. Bulk content extraction. Again, that's an interesting one. So I'd be interested to see what they will do with that. But it may be becoming useful to do bulk content extraction for then XM cloud migration. Right? That was one of the areas of thinking around that. Right? That could be useful. And then translating an entire item tree. So you could just do that.
That would be huge.
From the content editor, as it is still right now. And then translating a site. So if you have SSA sites, you can just do the entire site.
That's interesting.
So it's getting there, right? So item level, page level, tree level, site level, right?
But one thing though is that the Sitecore, what we found out is the Sitecore AI. In order to get Sitecore AI, you can't be on XPXM. You would have to be on the XM cloud part of it, right?
On Sitecore AI, which is a new, brand new, fully agentic offering that they have
for that.
But at least they still have
stream and other capabilities.
Other capabilities within platform. So platform isn't dead. There's still new features coming there and useful features. And there is a session tomorrow, I think it is, on platform migration to .NET Core.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So we'll wait out for that one.
Yeah.
We had some news on this last year.
Yeah.
We had some talks about it during MVP Summit. So interesting to see that one. So one last thing on the platform, future, and these were way future rather than coming months. MCP server.
Okay.
Obviously, Anton did a presentation for us a few weeks back, and he's done a lot of great work on the MCP server. So hopefully they'll just be building on top of the work he's been doing, and some of their internal work they've been doing here. It'd be great to see that as an actual official Sitecore product, I'd say. Component generation, component hypothesis generation, personalization suggestion, and A/B testing generation, right? So if they can bring those into Sitecore XP, I feel like that's the full cycle of Sitecore Cortex that we wanted with A/B testing and Platform DXP.
And then I don't think we heard anything about Gradial yet, right?
No, we haven't, but they do have a booth there. I mean, I've seen some product demos of Gradial, so we'll go over to the booth and compare to. I'm really curious to see how it differentiates now from some of the capabilities within
Sitecore AI itself. I'm curious about that. So that's day one. So far, it's a lot of stuff and a lot of sessions. So hopefully we'll catch up a couple more sessions tomorrow, and then we can do a day two. Update. And then closing in this Universal tomorrow.
We'll try to do day two if we're not hanging upside down on a theme park roller coaster ride.
That's true. So hopefully this was useful to you guys, and have a wonderful day.
Hey.